All right, guys. So today we're going to be taking a look ahead to next season for Rutgers. Pretty successful year this year, 7-6. You have the Big Ten leading rusher in Monangai. And the good news for Rutgers is they have Greg Schiano, their coach. He's back again. You've got a couple key pieces coming back, in particular quarterback and running back. And you've got some solid recruits coming in as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at their transfer portal and recruiting rankings. All right, so you should be able to see it on your screen now. All right, so you got the 37th ranked recruiting class this year. Not bad for Rutgers, actually. Tough place to win. 73rd ranked transfer portal class. Recruiting-wise, as you can see here, they've got some skill guys coming in. 18th ranked receiver, 18th ranked athlete, 29th ranked quarterback, 28th ranked tight end. Some pretty key pieces there. You got a couple of 4-stars that might be able to contribute right away at Rutgers. There's rounding out the rest of their class here. All right, so then looking at their transfer portal, like I said, 87th ranked, but they bring in a few key pieces here. All right, so some questionable, though. For example, let me get that off your screen real quick. All right, so for example here, all right, Kaliakmanis, I'm going to try to not mispronounce that. I probably am. But him and his brother coming over from Minnesota. Now, will he start at quarterback? I don't really know that answer, okay, because you've got your quarterback coming back from last year in Wimsatt. But does he replace this guy? I don't know. Wimsatt did a solid job, but also there were some limitations when he was playing. So that was obvious. That was evident. So I don't know if this will be their starter or not, but either way, that creates a competition, and competition is always good when it comes to starting quarterback. But the main piece, like I said, you've got your running back, Monangai, coming back. In particular, let me show his stats real quick for you. You can see it on your screen now. Rushing-wise, over 1,000 yards last year, 1,262 to be exact, 8 touchdowns. Pretty impressive stats there. And then looking at their schedule next year, they actually have a pretty favorable schedule here. All right, so you avoid the big dogs in the Big Ten. You avoid Michigan, you avoid Penn State, you avoid Ohio State, and you avoid Oregon. So those are the 4 guys you want to avoid at the moment. Let's go ahead and break down their schedule and predict it real quick. All right, starting off with Howard, that should be a win. Akron, that should be a win. Bye week, you got Virginia Tech, 2-0. Should be a tough game here. All right, at Virginia Tech, that's probably a 50-50 game. Virginia Tech's going to be pretty solid this year, fighting for a top 25 position. But I think Rutgers is going to be fighting for a top 25 spot as well. So I'm going to give Rutgers that right now, just for argument's sake. So let's say Rutgers gets that win, puts them at 3-0. Then you got Washington next. I think Rutgers is actually going to beat Washington. Washington's not going to be near as good as they were last year, losing a ton, including their coach and Michael Penix Jr., Dylan Johnson, Roma Dunze, their whole offensive line. It's going to be a completely different team. So that puts Rutgers at 4-0, goes to Nebraska. I'm going to give Rutgers the win there, 5-0. Their toughest test yet, Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat them last year. I think Wisconsin is going to be improved. Luckily, you get that game at home. I think that's about 50-50. Let's give Wisconsin the win there. So that puts you at about 5-1. UCLA, I think that's a win. UCLA is kind of in shambles right now with Chip Kelly. At USC, I think that's probably your only guaranteed loss out of this whole thing. I don't see you beating USC. I think USC will be really improved. I think that's a loss. So then you got Minnesota. That should be a win. Maryland, not going to be easy, but I think you can beat Maryland. Maryland's going to be down from last year. Then Illinois, Michigan State, I think those are winnable. So looking at this, I think you've got probably 1 loss for sure, and then maybe 2 or 3, depending on what happens, Wisconsin, Virginia Tech. Putting you at anywhere from 3 to 1 losses, most likely, which is not bad for Rutgers. That'll give you a winning record, put you close to double-digit wins, give you that potential bowl game to get you to double digits. And if somehow Rutgers only loses 1 game here, they could be a sneaky playoff team. I mean, sneaking in the playoffs somehow. Now it's expanding to 12 teams. I don't think that'll happen. I think they'll have 2 or 3 losses, like I said, probably Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, and USC. But if not, even if they do, that's a solid season. And like I said, 1 or 2 losses with the expanded playoff, you could somehow sneak in the playoff now with 12 teams. We'll see. But overall, I think Rutgers is going to be improved next year. Should be a solid outing for anybody. I don't think they're going to be a gimme. Should be a threat in the Big Ten, no doubt. And really, honestly, Oregon, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, all lucky they're avoiding Rutgers at home because really I think Rutgers could probably beat one of those teams. You know what I mean? But they're going to avoid them, luckily. But those are my thoughts on Rutgers this season, next season anyway. Let me know yours. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video. Most importantly, subscribe.